Alright guys, for today's Itaki Shabuki recipe, we're going to be actually doing, and I hope I don't offend any Filipinos, but we're going to be doing a pork guisantes because I have very similar things to what you would usually use. So I've got some bell peppers, some canned peas, some sliced onions, and that's what's in these containers. I plan on doing something else with pasta, so I'm going to be using just Prego as this tomato component. I've got onion powder, minced onion, garlic salt, and garlic powder. And I don't have any rice, and so I'm going to put some bow ties in. Again, not super original or not super authentic, but hopefully the taste will be pretty good. And then here I have some Chinese roast pork from a few days ago that I just chopped up. So let me put that in the container and I'll be right back. All right guys, so that's everything mixed in. I couldn't give you measurements because I just sort of eyeballed it. I'm gonna put it on high, I think, for maybe 20 minutes, stir it, and then maybe put it on low. It's a little before noon, and I'm not going to eat until a little bit before 1. And so I have some time, but I've been working on a project. And this is actually a little side table behind my desk, so it should be fine. There's a little bit more water than I would generally put, so I actually put a mixture of spaghetti sauce and water, but it has to cook the noodles. It's mostly vegetables. I used up all the peppers because they were from frozen, but the onions and the peas I still have left for some recipes later on this week. So I'll bring you guys back when either I do a stir-in about half an hour or when I'm ready to eat. Hey guys, it's been about 20 minutes. I just turned it off. I turned it low about 5 minutes in because it was really bubbling. I'm going to let it sit for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and just let the residual heat cook. It looks really good. I don't have salt, just regular salt or pepper, but I do have garlic salt, so I've been using that. I will clean this area up. That is actually a tablecloth, table lining. So it'll just make cleanup easier. And I plan on using these, like I said, later in the week, but I will give you my thoughts when I'm done with it, but that's basically it. So I'll see you guys in a little. Hey guys, so finished lunch and it was quite delicious, but if you've ever had pork guisantes, it was nothing like that. And to be honest, I guess I didn't really expect it to be. It really just tasted like a pasta and peppers. The pork was really good. The pasta was probably a little, not al dente, but a little bit, how do I say? It was chewier than most people probably would like, and I like that. And I let it sit for a good 15-20 minutes before I even started eating. But in regular pork guisantes, at least when I make it at home, I use either tomato paste or tomato sauce. When you use pasta sauce or spaghetti sauce, there's already flavors in there, and so it isn't the same flavor profile. I do put peppers in mine, but I usually chop them up, but they were frozen last night, and I just didn't want to go through the hassle of chopping them up, and so that's on me, and that's why it's mostly just peppers and onions in there. When I make this at home, I use ground pork or pork loin that I've chopped really fine. And so the roast pork, the Chinese roast pork, had a really good flavor in here, but again, nothing like a regular pork guisantes. But as a pepper pasta, it was quite delicious. Now, I should save this, but I'm not going to. It did burn a little on the bottom, but like I mentioned last time, I will take this home. It should come up, yeah, it's coming up easy enough. And that's probably because I didn't stir it as often as I should have. And that's really only because I didn't bring anything metal, or I didn't bring the spoon that came with it. And I noticed on the forks, it didn't completely melt off, but it was melting. And so, yeah, I'll have to think of something else to use, or maybe a chopstick. But I still think it's a little humbug. I'm hoping that the way I did it today was I brought enough supplies for the week. I can put things in the fridge because I will be here in the office, at least as of right now, 3 days this week. And so it makes sense when I'm not in the office as much or there's long stretches of time, then I just don't want to keep things there because I'll forget that they're there. So tomorrow it might actually be just pasta and sauce and onions. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to come up with different recipes, but I also want to use the things I have. And so that includes the pasta sauce, the onions, and the peas. I'm sure we'll figure something out. All right, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think of this recipe. And again, just like last one, thank you, Dee. If you have any ideas of recipes, and they really need to be either soups or stews or things like that, because that's really how this machine is built. I'd love to know in the comments below. All right, guys, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.